Mia's foot and had a slight roll of the ankle. We don't know much more than that. They tell me that he will be listed as questionable tomorrow.
From what you could sense, how serious is this?
I don't really know. I think right now we're listing it as questionable, and we're going to learn a lot more later this afternoon.
Ben said that some of the talk today was about like Philly tough, Philly edge, Philly real. What was the message? What was the points of emphasis with that? Trying to get back to it?
I mean, we don't just. I'm not a fan personally of like 1,000 different, rah-rah motivational slogans. That's not who I am. We have very deliberate signage in this building that I'm grateful that, back in the day, people let me sort of put my belief on what I feel in this city and this program on walls back there. And it's on letterhead, and it's on messaging, and it's on every film session we show. And it's always just, it's a Philly hard, Philly real, and a Philly edge. If you walk back there, you'd see Allen Iverson stepping over Ty Lue. You'd see Charles Barkley rebounding the ball. You'd see Julius Erving walking through the streets, I think, of Philadelphia. It's real. It's an authentic city. There's not much that's not, disingenuous, or you get found out real quick. And we talked about Philly hard. And I don't care what scheme you're in, there's a spirit in which you have to employ the scheme to do your job. And I don't feel like we've had that edge. I don't feel like we've been hard. And we talked about what that looked like.
Is Joe going to be having an MRI or X-ray?
I don't know. We'll figure out more about this later.
With those little hiccups that you're having, Ben with the bag, Joe with the ankle, is it harder to kind of work through these early season building blocks and stumbling?
It is, but every coach would tell you the same story. It's just part of the world we live in. And it's why you got a team, it's why you play 82 games. It certainly is not ideal, but that's why you have the team, and you practice, as much as we can. And so it's you move on. You learn, you move on.
Brett, is that edge more at the defensive end? You would see it
Rebounding, especially. Rebounding. You can talk about some schematic things, and the second period in Milwaukee was not good, and we're all going to say, well, Lopez's threes. I'm looking at some offensive rebounding that they had. I'm looking at our turnovers. I don't care what percentage of played out that they shot. Like, you turn it over that much and you don't rebound that much, they can can be 6-0. It doesn't really matter what goes on after with the score. And so there is a hardness and an edge that is pointed toward rebounding as much as anything for me. And then there's some schematic things that you always are going through in general, but that's where I feel it the most.
Brett, Dario, statistically speaking, has got off to a fairly slow start. He got off to a slow start last season as well. Are teams doing anything differently? Have they adjusted to him? He just needs to make shots. What are you seeing?
I see that he's come off I use the same reasoning, and I did last year, and I believe it because I lived it myself. I lived it as an international coach myself, and I coached so many international players over my years. They come out of a serious summer, people start slow. I think if you historically go study the multiple high-level international guys, from the Gasol brothers to Ginobili's and Parkers and Saric, and keep going. Go to Dragic when he was really involved with Slovenia. People come out slower. And I think Dario's coming out a little bit slower. I don't think it's got anything to do with the league scouting him differently. I think it does have to do with, maybe just a little bit of burnt energy. When we judge his shooting, you've heard me talk about my kind of pet peeve on people to miss short. I think you're going to see that. But I feel like it's the toil of a summer, and he'll come good.
Is it just relational? I mean, I guess to an outsider it might be, well, he's been playing the whole time, therefore he might be more into a flow, as opposed to guys who are coming at him maybe with more bounce and more energy because it's the beginning of the season.
Yeah, no, and you know what, Mike? It ain't even close to me. This flow notion where you play 12 months and you're really in a good flow is a myth. it is a myth. It is, people need rest, you know, and you can find your flow. What is it? What's the date today? October?
26th.
You know, we've been back in the gym since September, so like that flow thing to me equals 6 weeks gone by. Like anybody can find the flow in 6 weeks, so I have a better chance to be playing okay basketball. I see it completely related to the wear and tear personally over the summer, based on like what I've lived myself and seen for many, many years.
Does that concern you as a coach? Like you want to make these deep playoff runs hopefully this year, and then hopefully as national team duties over the next summer and then the Olympics coming up. Projecting forward, is it something you think about that concerns you? Does it sit anywhere in your mind?
It does, because I think if I hadn't sort of been fortunate to go to 3 Olympic Games and 2 World Championships, so I've lived this life we're talking about. And you understand completely the passion and responsibility that these players feel toward their nation. There is internal domestic pressure. They expect you to play or it's unpatriotic. That's a fact. And so people feel the burden to represent their country. And then, you know, sometimes people are out of contracts and they're about to try to, you know, sign a contract, and sometimes they do have wear and tear of an NBA season, and you know, you just kind of got to limp in the nation, the country has to respect that. And so I've lived it. You know, I was coach of the Australian Olympic team when Bogut got undertaken by Amari Stoudemire, and like all of a sudden, like maybe there's a medal chance, it just went out the window. And you know, you're trying to get Patty Mills to come back in, and then you have conversations with Argentina about Mana, like, hey, we just won an NBA championship, and now it's coming with Ben in Australia, which I know well. And you know, it's hard. Like, I think the NBA owners really deserve a lot of credit for allowing some of these things to happen. You know, somebody gives somebody $160 million. Well, you know, maybe they do have a right. 80, pick a number, 20 million, whatever. You know, there comes a level of which one, you know, is most important. And so there's no perfect answer. Somewhere with everything I've just said, that is the truth. That is the true lay of the land.
Coach, the other night you were quoted as part of a larger comment saying, "We need help." What leads to that feeling?
Well, I don't understand. I don't remember saying that. I think I said internally.
Philly.com quoted you saying, "We need
In June?
Help." No, the other night.
Well, I don't believe internally. Like we need more help with. I think Joe and Ben and JJ. Oh, right.
We need them to be
We need them coming back. We need our guys coming back. Yeah, you know, Wilson, and thank you, D, my translator. I look forward to bringing 2 adults back into the team. You know, Wilson and Mike are men that have been in the league for a while, and we look forward to bringing that toughness, that length, that defensive spirit back into the team, yes.
Why do you think the communication doesn't seem like it's always there? It seems like sometimes on switches, you guys are wide open. Is that new schemes, new players? Seems like you guys are pretty good.
It's a tiny. I think the new scheme stuff is quite overrated. I agree with what you're saying. We have a team, and you see the good and the bad. When we can really, like, preemptively talk and understand that early is better than late, and be strong and wrong type notion, we can switch a lot off the ball. When you're a beat slow and you're a little bit half pregnant, a little bit indecisive, you get punished badly. And I think that we do have a team that can switch at 6'9", 6'9", 6'10", 6'11", 7. We got a team that can really cause problems. And so I think that some of the communication stuff is a problem at times now. I feel when I study it, when I get nervous, is when in my head and my heart, I don't feel the path is correct that you're on. And we have pivot out of some stuff. I'm so excited about what path we're on. I'm really excited about what we're trying to do. And so I don't feel, you know, the need to change anything. We just got to do what we do better and longer. And to your point, I think that communication, you better have that, or what you're trying to do is going to be punished.
Right, at what point last year, because you became a top 10 defensive, you would hang your hat on that kind of stuff. Did you gradually get, I'm sorry.
That's right.
Did you gradually get there? Like, meaning, was it a slower defensive start for you guys last year?
I don't remember the path. I do remember where we ended up.
Right, that's
and
what I'm talking
yeah, and I don't remember if we started, whatever we are at now after 5 games, and inched our way up, or we sort of held a fort for most of it. I would assume that we inched our way up. I think that this team has shown like we improve. I think if we just stay true to something, we can just walk it down. And my belief, if you saw us last year and you could do your home, I think that we just kept going up the food chain. Yeah. And so like I think it's going to happen like that this year. Where we're just going to hold on to something we believe in and we're going to walk it down, and I believe that we'll start reaping the benefits of some of the things we're doing as time unfolds. But to Rich's point, like, the communication at times has been tough.
Thanks, Brett.
Thanks,
Thank you,
everybody.
Coach. Thank
Take
you.
care.